Alright, so I know I haven't done a video in a while, but I've been busy trying to do school and then just playing Apex Legends. But I really tried, I swear. And also, I want to do a disclaimer that I've seen so many videos about Silent Hill that I barely have anything else to add. I might sound familiar to other people, so don't come for me, okay? It's obviously not on purpose. I just fucking love the artistic creations of video games that Team Silent made, and has totally changed my views on horror games forever. I was gonna make a review and finish another game that I might reveal, I don't know if I will, but I started replaying Silent Hill 3 instead, and then I decided to replay Silent Hill 2 because I was already on it, you know? And I just want to talk about my feelings and my experiences with these games. So this is not like a review, but this is just like how I felt playing these games for so long. And I wanted to talk about Silent Hill 2 and 3 mostly because I've sunk in the most hours into these games. I haven't finished Silent Hill 1, which I should, and I've been looking for a copy of Silent Hill 4 but not bought one yet because I'm already dreading the backtracking part of the game. I still feel like I have to play these games, even if I don't like them, just for Team Silent. I found Silent Hill 2 and 3 on an auction site from my country. I wasn't into horror games that much at the time, but I always liked watching horror movies, so I was like, fuck it. I don't remember the exact time that I got the games. It was a couple of years after I got into mature games, aka I wasn't playing Sonic the Hedgehog anymore, and I moved on to like Assassin's Creed. I think this might have been around 2012 when I was 14. I probably shouldn't have been playing a game with these kinds of themes, especially the second one, which is a lot about sexual abuse and suicide and killing people, but you know, whatever. Now I'm just happy that I got them when I could. I probably would have fucking forgot about it and just like moved on with my life and then just never played it. And I've always preferred single player story games with little focus on combat, because can you believe this, but I played Assassin's Creed for the story.
Hey, what's the matter you out there?
That's racist.
You're racist.
So when I got started with Silent Hill 2, I decided to play it blindly. It took me about 10 hours, I think. I got stuck all the time, and I didn't want the game spoiled, so I decided to not look up a guide. And I've never been so uncomfortable by the atmosphere just changing. I was always on the edge of my seat, just waiting for something to pop up, and it just never came. That walk in the forest at the beginning where you hear faint footsteps behind you always scares the fucking shit out of me. You'll be either too scared to look back, or look back and just see nothing there. I like the apartments because it sets up the game in a good way. Even though if it confused me, I didn't mind it. And what I mean by confused, it means the juice box puzzle, which is like, how does that make sense? The creaking in the stairwell when you go from second floor to third floor always fucking scares me. I still think about the sound and I still hate it so much. I would always think that it was just gonna collapse any fucking minute. The environment makes me uncomfortable, and this is a very good plus about Silent Hill 3 actually. Empty places that are always packed scare the shit out of me. The mall and the metro at the beginning couldn't be more terrifying. I had a friend who worked in a mall, and we were going into a kind of storage / delivery part of it. It was empty and the ceilings were so tall so trucks could fit. But nothing had reminded me more of Silent Hill in real life than that. It looked abandoned, and it looked scary. Abandoned buildings can both be interesting and scary, but I think the second one more when you played Silent Hill 3 all by yourself. And that's why I love it so much. I never thought I'd be scared of this kind of stuff until Silent Hill happened. 2 and 3 are quite different, but in the best ways, I feel like. There's still about this weird town with a cult connected to it, but the difference is in the scares and the plot. A lot of people praise Silent Hill 2 for making a very emotional game, and they're totally right. It can simply be put as: a man looks for his wife even though he knows she is dead from 3 years back. The reasoning is a letter that he got from her, telling him to look for her in their special place in Silent Hill. He has come to terms that the death of his wife is his fault as the game progresses. The letter he got was actually blank, and the only reason he is there is because of the town being spooky, and it called on him to come to terms with his past. Just like any other character in the game except Laura, since she is innocent, and Maria because she is obviously made up by James. Now I will try not to go so much into spoilers, since there's probably a lot of you who've probably never even seen the games in real life. I really recommend them. Even if you're this late, I still recommend you play them. Also, they're timeless classics and they will never be fucking bad, so you should play them actually. But the way that the town in Silent Hill is made into in the second game is such a good way to execute it. Everyone in the game is there because of something they have done in the past and couldn't get over, leading them to the town to come to terms with what they've done. Silent Hill 3 isn't like that, but it's not a bad thing either. They wanted to connect the story back to the first game. And even though cult stuff isn't my cup of tea, I still enjoy the plotline for a cult horror game. Especially since Silent Hill 3 is the more scarier of the two. It scares me of someone so inbred and religious that thinks that bringing God into our world will solve every problem, aka killing us all, and being so into this idea she eats a fetus to give birth to God herself. I also love the character designs of 3. I understand the second game with their designs, but the only one I really like was Maria, if I'm going to be honest. I like Heather much more as a playable character, and I love her design. I really like feeling how Silent Hill would be like for a teenager and seeing her being mad and reacting like a normal teenage girl, basically. I even like Claudia's and Vincent's designs, especially Claudia, since she really looks the part of a weird church girl that doesn't really belong in our real world almost. The amount of dedication and time they put into making the character designs are always admirable, and I still like them all. I always admire Sado Takayoshi talking about how he made Maria and Mary. They both have the same facial features, but I didn't realize it until I saw the making of Silent Hill 2, because they look so different. The atmosphere of the different games are the selling point to me. Silent Hill 2's atmosphere is guilt and depression, while Silent Hill 3 is just literal hell and anger. Another thing I really like about the Silent Hill series is that there's no HUD on the screen, there's no health bar and no ammo count. There's other games, like Resident Evil 7, that does it pretty fine, I think. It only shows your ammo count when you're actually using the gun. But in Silent Hill, you realize that you don't really need to see the ammo count. It makes the game scarier when you don't really know. As I said earlier, I really recommend playing these games by yourself. As much as I love Let's Plays and what they've done to progress YouTube as a platform, Silent Hill just isn't the game for it. It's easier to get out of horror when you're watching someone else or playing together with friends.
Oh no!
So I really recommend playing it just by yourself. I think you can still get the games really easily secondhand, but if you can't find any, then I don't condone this. But piracy exists. There's a PC version of both Silent Hill 2 and 3, and there's a bunch of fan-made patches, I think for both games, but mostly Silent Hill 2 since that had a lot of sound issues. Don't give Konami your money, don't buy the Silent Hill HD collection. I don't even think they make the Silent Hill HD collection anymore, but just don't buy the Silent Hill HD collection, cause it got bad everything. From graphics to fog to sound to all of it. It's so sad about the state of Silent Hill right now, and I wish I could have seen what Silent Hills would become, even if it was gonna be kind of a typical first-person horror game. I would still love to see what Hideo Kojima and Guillermo del Toro could have done with it. I think the story was wrapped up quite nicely, and even though I would like to see how Heather's having it right now, but that's not what Silent Hill is about. It's about going to this town. It's not about what happens after the town. And also, it isn't Tom Hewlett's fault for the state of Silent Hill. I'm on Tom Hewlett's side. Fuck you guys. I don't know how to end this. Feel free to subscribe or like the video or whatever, or share this. Don't share this, actually, I'm really embarrassed. Just kidding, I need it. I hope you have a great day, and sub to PewDiePie. No, sub to me, actually. Bye.
This town is full of monsters. How can you sit there and eat pizza?